good to see you again. Welcome to another episode of Cooking Under Quarantine. We've got a beautiful selection of multiple amazing foodstuffs for me to try and you to see me try to make. We're going to start off with our Doomsday Cocktail. And this one is called Death in the Afternoon. It is based off of Ernest Hemingway's novel, the same title. He actually is credited with inventing the cocktail. Certainly the man had a penchant for absinthe. So we're doing a little bit of a jigger of absinthe here. And we are going to pour in some champagne. So here we go. We're about to pop off this apocalypse. Yeah. So the recipe kind of calls for pouring this in until it becomes milky. But I've seen blue milk. I haven't seen green milk. I guess that's enough. We'll see. Some tasting notes here. Absinthe and bubbles. Interesting. It does taste like it could kill you, though. In the afternoon seems like a great time. Just a beautiful part of the day to be dead. For our apocalyptic appetizer, we have a mozzarella stick that we were calling the mozzarella rubella. And this goes viral as well, just not COVID. Now, me being the COVID Contessa, the heir to the throne, I got to talk to you a little bit more about what else we're doing here. Meltdown is I actually had put a big roast in here with some eggs and chopped up some mushrooms. I want to keep one mushroom in there because I bought these giant mushrooms because they're huge. Look at that bad boy. That's the kind of mushroom that grow out of your head and make you crazy and turn into the kind of zombie one. I'm just going to keep that there as a little specimen. We'll cook that in later. Meltdown is our bubonic beef. So I'm going to take this bubonic beef and put it onto some toast we have here from our first episode of the Everything Bagel Bread. And then we're going to put some of this fine sliced turkey and cheese on top, broil it, and we should have a nice, cheesy, fantastic extravaganza. Again, thanks you for joining us. Like and subscribe. Hello again. So, focusing on our apocalyptic appetizer, the rubella mozzarella. So, the first thing I want to do is tell you a little bit more about what I did with the beef dish here. So, our bubonic beef was a piece of chuck roast that I first seared in this pot on each side, chucked into our crock pot for about 5 hours with the biggest mushrooms I've ever seen, i.e. this guy. And I figure if we're going to turn into a mushroom kingdom, better try to get some immunity by eating some mushrooms. And then I kind of did a little bit of pan de glaze with this Madeira. So I'm going to put a little bit of Madeira in here. And let me tell you, it is certainly better than the Tyler Perry Madeira movies. So it's going to taste better than that. Breading our rubella mozzarella sticks. Now, right here we've got a mixture of a almond flour bread that I tried to make and completely failed, but can't throw anything away because it's the apocalypse. Keep it, eat it, don't eat it. So I'm going to combine that with our Dorito knockoff, and let me just feed the pandemic woman here. Mix that in there, and sticks, and dunk them in flour. Get them in there. They love flour. The trick here I'm going to use is the two-hand method. So only one hand is going to touch the nasty, dangerous egg. That egg could be full of nasty viral things. Who knows? So we'll get our little cheese friends nice and coated in flour and dunk them in. Let me tell you, this episode's going to have more dunks than Space Jam. Is the kind of thing that is going to make these super crunchy when we deep fry them in some of our oil here. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't afford crude, which sounds staggering because of how cheap the price of crude is. But we have decided to go with some vegetable oil. You know, let me tell you, once America finds out that vegetables are full of oil, we're going to invade that country. Lickety split. Look at that. Oh, they're loving it. Just bathing it. Bathing beauties. Fantastic. This reminds me of the scene in Goldfinger. Just get coated in gold, and then they can't breathe anymore. And that's our goal. Because no one would want to deep fry someone who could breathe. So we're going to toss it in here into our Dorito knockoff and breadcrumb mixture. Get these guys nice and crispy. Some folks have asked on our previous videos about the pita making and where the dough we made in the first episode turned into, how that turned into pita. That didn't really happen. We just had pita hanging around. We might be forced to make pita later, but pita, in my experience, tends to go bad quickly. So we decided to just use the pita that we had. Throw sticks over again to our flour with some hope that this will help them maintain a little bit more integrity. Because we all know in these trying times, integrity is hard to come by. And toss it into our little bootleg bunker deep fryer. Well, tell you, I don't see what Ernest Hemingway saw in that, but I guess he saw it, because that is a lot of things that I would not want to put together, namely champagne and absinthe. But talk about a flex drink, you know. Oh yeah, we've got champagne, we've got absinthe. Oh, what? You don't like this drink? That's probably because you're not accustomed to this. Also, we've got a secret caviar second part to this drink that you would never even know about. And you're right, I wouldn't. Because here in the apocalypse, there are no fish. We've killed them all. The double breading process has become a lot more onerous than I would have expected. It's like doing something twice is twice as hard. Who'd have thought? Gee whiz, not me. One little sauce here. I made a little nice raspberry Melba sauce for our mozzarella sticks. And that is literally just jelly and water. Who's Melba? I don't know. But I'm a little bit jelly of her. Second, dunking onto the bread and Dorito combo. Someone were to tell me, hey, I'm going to try to make almond flour and Dorito mozzarella sticks, I'd say, boy, you're getting your stories mixed up there. Really nice and healthy combined with a Dorito. The antithesis of health. But really, the paragon of the apocalypse. You might ask yourself, are these Cool Ranch? No. These are bootleg Doritos. Because here in the bootleg bunker, that's how we do. You guys are frying up real beautiful. Get them to a nice GBD, well, which stands for golden brown and delicious. And once we're there, we are going to pull these out, put them on this parchment paper, and then our appetizer pop-ups will be finished. We can move on to our bubonic beef. Really excited for this one. People say coronavirus is overblown, and I said, are you kidding? Have you seen my channel? Making beautiful things over here in a beautiful time of crisis, and helping all you beautiful people cope with all the real problems out there. Only got a couple more of these bad boys to throw in there, and then we will be ready to switch on over. So next we are going to prepare our beef onto our little pieces of toast. This is actually toast made from our first episode where we did the everything bagel bread, and I was able to find something better than a muffin tin to put it in, so we've actually got something nice here. Our fried mozzarella rubella sticks are moving along okay. So I think it's time to start plating this up. You can see the beef is just disintegrated, much like we all will in the oncoming nuclear holocaust. But remember, we're all made of stars. We started as nothing, became something, and will be nothing yet again. And I think the mushroom in this is going to have a nice texture. I don't know. I've never had this type of mushroom before. I saw it. It was big, so I bought it. Big shroom activity. Honestly, it just reminded me of the mushroom cloud that we're going to inevitably see at the end of this all. With any luck. What a better way to go. Alright. Stacking this up. This toast is smelling real nice. Real great. Mushrooms are giving a nice, almost Princess Peachy flavor. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the Mushroom Kingdom I'm thinking about there. Just getting my wires crossed a little bit. It's hard in times like this, and so much stress. I added 1 egg in here to just kind of, I don't know, I had an egg. I didn't know what to do with it, so I put it in there. Figured, hey, why not? Let's roast that egg. Now, I've got some pieces of the finest turkey. You say lunch meat, I say lunchy. Beautiful, finely ground. Is it even turkey? Who knows? Pure press into perfectly spherical forms. Yes, what part of the turkey does this come from? Clearly the log. Just such structural integrity out of a piece of turkey. Now, I am going to actually put some additional spices in this turkey substrate. Got some herbs de Provence because this probably needs a little bit of this. I think it's going to pair well with Madeira. So, is this a weapon for the apocalypse? Could be, but not in this context, because what we're going to do is pull out our beautiful golden brown and delicious mozzarella sticks. And they're not there yet, so we're actually going to hold off on that. You know, this cocktail is revealed to be the secret of the ooze. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, this is the secret. Ooze-tastic, perfectly green, everything I need. Put a little Old Bay on this because older is better, right? At least according to coronavirus. That's their target list. Put a little bit of salt on here. Just like everyone is salty about this whole quarantine situation. Now, I'm going to set this oven to broil, which is nice and dangerous because that's how we like to live here on Cooking in Quarantine. So I'm going to overlap some cheese slices onto our little beautiful bubonic brisket croque monsieurs. I'm going to toss this into the oven. I'm going to toss that into the oven for the CDC recommended amount of time to kill COVID-19. Now, there may have some time you said, hey, Spencer, didn't you wash your hands between those takes? And the answer is absolutely, of course I did. And we'll come back in half a second. All right, so we're dipping in here. Look at that little nugget. Gorgeous. This guy might need a little bit more time in the fire, but he's going to be our little taste companion. So I'm going to toss him into our Doritos mix here and throw him into the freezer. Fire, ice, what's the difference? It's all inhospitable. I get another taste as this evolves here. Ooh. Yeah, we're tasting a little bit of late afternoon here. So definitely late afternoon, not too bad. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this thing. I think I'll name him Richard. Because he looks like a dick. Right. Oh! You know, in medieval times, a lot of castles used to use hot oil to fend off attackers. I don't know if that would work on me because, let me tell you, this hot oil is just smelling amazing, looking amazing. All these mozzarella globules are just about GBD. And let me tell you, that Dorito flavor is going to add a lot here. Or Dortito, as some regionals call it. So inviting. You know, when people say to me, hey, why do we let Saudi Arabia tell us what to do in this time of apocalypse? All they have is oil. But let me tell you, oil can do a lot. It can do a deep a lot. Which reminds us to thank the deep ones for their support. To their brethren, I'm going to take out my trial nugget. See how this panned out. Deep fried out and pan fried out. Got ourselves a little bit of a tasting operation here. Do a little bit of a swirl to cleanse my palate. Yep, that is something that someone thought was going to be good. So we're dipping in our raspberry Melba sauce, which is jelly and water. And this guy is looking extra crispy, beautiful, just all about life. And this is literally a mozzarella stick with a failed bread mixture and Doritos. Taste the failure up front. Taste the nut mix. This is the right sauce, though. Absolutely. Our main course meltdown, our beef bubonic plague sandwiches are coming out, and they are just gorgeous. Look at that GBD on top of the turkey. Got a lot of that soaking up. We haven't even talked about our dessert all hope course, which is going to be some of our everything bagel spice bread, which we are using for our main course here, combined with 2 different types of nut sauces. So this nut sauce is going to be great for those with nut allergies, so we highly recommend. If you're trying to induce breathing problems, just like COVID-19, do a little bit of a taste testing. Nothing too onerous for our viewers. For people. Do one more little tasterino before we dig into the main course here. And give it a little try. So we're all trying our hardest here, and that's what we need to maintain is real positivity. Because that's what's going to get us through this. Can-do attitude, try hard, serious positivity. This is pretty good. The Dorito mozzarella sticks are amazing. This makes this look like a joke food. But again, we're here for the jokes. Speaking of jokes, we're going to finish up with our dessert all hope. And that tonight is going to be our dessert all hope nut allergy edition, which I hope none of y'all out there have, but we don't have here either. A little bit of peanut butter. And that will be the final tasting of this evening. Again, thank you for joining us for episode 3 of Cooking Under Quarantine, Quarantine Confessor and the Pandemic Woman. Let's give this a little bit of a fold. Oh, it's a sandwich. Miracle. Amazing. Who knows? A fold in time. This might be better than mozzarella sticks. It's really good. I'll leave you. Like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us in Cooking Under Quarantine. And remember, eat it, don't eat it.